Hey everyone! Today we are once again breaking down the freshest movie news. Sadie Sink will officially return to her role in Secret Wars. This was reported by the authoritative Deadline and caused heated discussions on the internet. After all, it turns out that Sadie is playing someone so important that the character's role goes beyond the limits of not just one film, but the entire Spidey franchise. So who is Sadie playing? What else has become known about Brand New Day? And when can we finally expect a 40-minute breakdown of Tom Holland's hairstyle? Get comfortable because it will be interesting. After all, it isn't every day that authoritative publications openly reveal the plot. Neither Sadie Sink nor Marvel have confirmed the actress's participation anywhere. And the official article is actually connected to the theater production of Romeo and Juliet, which Sadie has signed on for. The performances will be in London, and between the lines in the article, Deadline writes that this is convenient for the actress, because in 2026, Sadie will also be filming an Avengers movie in London. It is unknown whether Marvel snipers shot the editor, but the internet remembers everything. And now we can speak about Sadie Sink's big role in Marvel with certainty. It is possible that the actress will appear even in Doomsday, because its additional photography will also take place in London next year. It dovetails nicely with the expected conclusion of filming for Spider-Man. Many link Tom Holland's absence from the main cast of Doomsday to this. The situation is such that either he really won't be in the film, or he will film all his scenes in 2026 during the additional photography for Doomsday. Accordingly, the same story applies to Sadie Sink. The release of Spider-Man 4 is scheduled for July of next year. The wait isn't that long, especially considering that New Year is coming soon. Here the official information ends, and we move on to the grounds of rumors. Given the role in Avengers, it is now unlikely that Sadie Sink will play Punisher's girlfriend or a supporting character. If we recall all the insiders, then there remain 3 characters capable of fitting both Spidey and Avengers. These are Jean Grey, Firestar, and Mayday Parker, the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. The last option is the most incredible, but ironically, it has the most arguments. The main one in the source material is insider John Rocha, who specializes in Spider-Man, and was the first to predict the appearance of the now-confirmed Tombstone and Scorpion in the film. It was he who first said that Sadie is Mayday Parker, who wanted a more grounded plot. As a result, with Punisher and Damage Control, the film will be street-level, and Mayday Parker will add a multiversal flavor to it. It is also reported that Sadie's role will be a secret not only until the premiere, but also throughout the greater part of the film. According to insiders in Brand New Day, the character will be called by a fake name and the truth will be revealed only towards the end, thus smoothly transitioning the plot into Secret Wars. This depends on what role Sadie is playing. This same approach would work with either Jean Grey or Firestar. Let's go into more detail here. And let's start with Firestar, also known as Angelica Jones. She debuted in the Spidey animated series by Stan Lee in 1981 and is a very powerful character. You have surely seen videos where something is constantly being melted and exploded in microwaves due to radiation. That is a complete description of Firestar's abilities. Except she also knows how to fly, although some microwaves can do that too. The girl's history is interesting because initially Emma Frost tried to raise her as a perfect killer. It didn't work out since Firestar turned out to be responsible. However, she also refused to go to Professor X, choosing an independent path, which eventually led the girl to the Avengers and to other teams and to a couple of crossovers with the main X-Men. The option is fresh. Angelica hasn't been shown in movies yet, and it is very simple to integrate her into Spidey, and nothing needs to be invented. That is precisely why the option with Firestar is the most popular among fans. In second place is Jean Grey. Just the other day, it became known that Marvel plans to make her and Scott Summers the main faces of the next saga. And redhead Sadie is literally the spitting image of Jean Grey and the perfect fan choice. But from the point of view of the plot, unfortunately the theory doesn't fit very well. After all, the X-Men will be rebooted with new actors after Secret Wars, but Sadie debuts in the previous saga, and it would turn out that somehow she transfers to the new universe and joins the mutants. It will be difficult for a casual viewer to understand such a twist, and Marvel might avoid this option. However, Famke Janssen stated that she won't be in either Doomsday or Secret Wars, which many took as a signal that Marvel doesn't want to create competition for Sadie. The most unlikely and ironically the most confirmed by insiders option is Mayday Parker, the daughter of Tobey Maguire's Spidey. In the comics, Mayday hails from Earth 982, where Peter and Mary Jane got married not entirely happily because in a battle with the Green Goblin, Spidey lost a leg and retired from superhero life. Mayday picked up his cause, becoming the first comic book heroine to earn as many as 100 issues. It is she who is associated by comic readers with both Spider-Girl and Spider-Woman. And why Brand New Day needs Mayday is also absolutely clear. In Doomsday, a collision of Tobey Maguire's world with another is expected, but there are frankly few characters in his universe, and half were already shown in the film No Way Home. She will be a thread complementing Maguire's universe. But how to integrate her into the plot of Brand New Day is decidedly unclear. Did she transfer together with Tobey, but somehow remained after Strange's spell? Did she find Strange in her own universe and make a wish to move to a world where she is prettier than MJ? Whichever option you take, nothing makes sense. But of course, it is clear how beautiful it will be if Tom Holland starts a relationship with Tobey Maguire's Spidey's daughter, and then it turns out that somehow this whole business looks bad and they are sort of relatives. However, one could make it simpler and give Sadie the role of any other Spider-Woman. Jessica Drew, Julia Carpenter, Varanki, there are dozens of them in the comics, so such an option is also possible. Let's better move on to other news. It is that authoritative journalists report that Marvel is seriously determined to introduce more classic villains into Tom Holland's franchise. Specifically, Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus are mentioned. Marvel sort of wants Holland to go down in history as the Spidey, with the most complete gallery of villains, and you can't go anywhere without the classics. It is reported that in the animated series Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Marvel tested fan reaction by going through options for a possible debut of Norman Osborn in the universe. Considering that Holland's Spidey knows that in another universe Norman is a villain, the task is quite something. But there are options after all. One can literally build off this and create a plot where Holland constantly suspects Osborn and eventually becomes the cause of his transformation. This is a self-fulfilling prophecy, so he, like Dr. Octopus, can be introduced into the cinematic universe, or as a last resort do it under other names so that no one suspects. Who knows, maybe they will turn Zendaya into the Green Goblin. The actress appeared in a photo from the set together with Tom Holland. And this time it is reported that this isn't just a family get-together, but really Zendaya on set. And most importantly, the Disney marketing department has started booking clothes and hotels for Zendaya for the promotional tour of the new Spidey, and no one does such things for actors with minimal roles. Consequently, Zendaya will also remain an important part of the plot and will still have her say in the franchise, as of course will Punisher. Data about his special presentation, which will come out before Spider-Man, has leaked online. And it is reported that the events of the solo project will be directly connected to Brand New Day. Specifically, we are promised that as a result of Punisher's actions, many villains, including Scorpion, will escape from prisons. And the new Spidey will begin literally with Peter Parker cleaning up the consequences left by Punisher. It is reported that the plot of the Punisher special will be based on the comic Welcome Back, Frank from the year 2000. In it, Punisher loses it and destroys literally the entire mafia of New York. However, instead of a quiet city, Frank sees petty criminals who were previously in the shadows fill the power vacuum and start a real war for the redistribution of territories. New York turns into a battlefield, and here the events will flow into the Spidey film, where in photos from the set, we saw exactly devastation explosions and tanks on the streets. Punisher will try to fix everything, and Parker will try to eliminate the consequences and stop Frank, who is only making the city worse. And the most important thing is another rumor that the events of Brand New Day will unfold parallel to Doomsday. It's just that New York will be in such a difficult situation that Spidey won't have time for multiversal showdowns. Chasing Punisher, Scorpions, and Tombstones, Parker will miss Doomsday. But in the end, possibly with the help of Mayday Parker, he will find out what is happening, and thus the film will end simultaneously as a teaser for both Doomsday and Secret Wars, where Spider-Man will already take maximum part. But unfortunately, it seems we will have to forget about a separate solo film in Battleworld. All fans were waiting for it so that the Avengers plot would expand and we would see the daily life of ordinary people after the collapse of the multiverse. Many assumed that the fourth part would be filmed in Battleworld. But then, Doomsday was moved. Spidey became street level and it didn't work out. Just as it won't work out in the future because Marvel, even if it tries very hard, will release the fifth part in 2028 at the earliest, and consequently already after Secret Wars in a new universe. What is sad against this background is that while Tobey Maguire's Spidey is being actively integrated into future Marvel films, nothing is heard about Andrew Garfield. It seems that the maximum the actor can count on is an appearance in Secret Wars on general terms. It is sad considering how the idea of a fourth part with Tobey Maguire is gaining momentum. But there is still time. Garfield is only 42, and he still has about 5 years to play Spidey at a relatively young age. The cancellation of the Kang Dynasty is the best confirmation that in modern Marvel, everything can change at the last minute. So we wait, hope, and believe that Marvel will also conclude Andrew Garfield's Spidey story. And what would you like? More immersion into the world of Tobey or Andrew? Who do you think Sadie Sink will eventually play? Leave your opinion in the comments. And that is all for us for now. See you soon, friends.